Weird American laws.
Imagine this sun-baked, ridiculous scene on a dusty street in Blythe, California, right on the edge of the Arizona border. It's a hot Saturday afternoon. A proud cowboy struts down Main Street in shiny new cowboy boots, spurs jingling with every step, looking like he just stepped out of a classic Western movie. Suddenly, a local sheriff on horseback rides up, tips his hat, and says with a completely straight face, "Hold it right there, partner. Nice boots. But do you own at least 2 cows?" The cowboy stops mid-strut, dust swirling around his feet. "What? These are brand new boots." The sheriff leans forward in the saddle. "Doesn't matter how new they are. In Blythe, California, you are not allowed to wear cowboy boots unless you own at least 2 head of cattle. That's the law." The cowboy stares in disbelief, one boot still lifted in the air. "So I can't wear cowboy boots unless I actually own cows?" Sheriff nods solemnly. "Welcome to Blythe, son. Real cowboys only." Yes, this is a real, gloriously absurd old law from Blythe, California. You are not allowed to wear cowboy boots unless you own at least 2 cows. Stick around. We're diving boot first into one of the most hilariously outdated and cattle-obsessed rules in the American West. Why on earth would a California desert town ban cowboy boots for non-cow owners? Who came up with this rule? Is it still on the books today? And what happens when a city slicker tries to rock a pair of fancy boots without any livestock? By the end of this video, you'll never look at a pair of cowboy boots the same way again.
Subscribe and drop a like.
Welcome to Law Tunes USA, the channel that fearlessly drags America's strangest, dumbest, and most boot-tastic laws into the spotlight with bright cartoons, savage satire, and non-stop laughs. Today's episode is pure Wild West comedy. You can't wear cowboy boots unless you own 2 cows. Blythe, California's hilarious Old West rule. This law is a beautiful time capsule from the Old West days when Blythe was a real cattle town. Back then, lawmakers wanted to protect the image of genuine cowboys and prevent pretenders, city folks, tourists, or wannabes from dressing like real ranchers just for style. They decided that if you're gonna wear the boots, you'd better actually own the cows that make the lifestyle authentic. No fake cowboys allowed. The rule is delightfully specific. In Blythe, California, it is illegal to wear cowboy boots unless you can prove you own at least 2 head of cattle. No exceptions for "they're just fashion boots," no loopholes for "I bought them at the swap meet," just pure cattle-based fashion control. Let's animate the glorious chaos. A confident man in a big hat and shiny cowboy boots struts down a dusty Blythe street, spurs jingling. Locals nod approvingly until the sheriff rides up on horseback and stops him cold. "Nice boots, stranger. Got 2 cows to go with them?" The man freezes, one boot in the air. "Cows? I just like the look." The sheriff shakes his head. "Then those boots are illegal in Blythe. Real cowboys only, partner." Cut to the courtroom for maximum satire. The defendant stands there, still wearing the offending boots, looking embarrassed. The judge slams the gavel. "You have been charged with unauthorized cowboy boot wearing in the city of Blythe. How do you plead?" The man shrugs. "Not guilty, Your Honor. They're just fashion." The prosecutor dramatically points at the boots. "Your Honor, this man is committing fashion fraud. He's impersonating a real cowboy without the required livestock." The defense lawyer pleads, "Objection, my client has sensitive feet." The judge sighs the sigh of a man tired of boot-related crimes. "Guilty, fined $200, and you must either buy 2 cows or remove those boots immediately. Next case." The what-if scenarios are comedy gold. A tourist in fancy cowboy boots gets stopped by the sheriff. "Nice boots, city boy. Where are your 2 cows?" An influencer films Blythe cowboy boot haul on Main Street. The video gets interrupted mid-pose. Content terminated for livestock
Subscribe and drop a like.
violation. A hipster tries to argue, "These are ironic boots." Sheriff replies, "Irony doesn't count. Show me the cows." A little kid wearing toy cowboy boots at the fair gets a polite warning. Even kids need cows in Blythe, or at least 2 toy cows. Even if this law is mostly forgotten and rarely enforced today, it perfectly captures Blythe's proud Old West spirit. If you're gonna dress the part, you'd better own the herd. Bonus ridiculously outdated California and Western laws. No wearing cowboy boots without owning 2 cows in Blythe. No driving in housecoats, women. No selling dog or cat hair. And don't forget the famous no feeding garbage to pigs rule without a permit. California and the West don't just have deserts, they have fashion police with livestock requirements. So, here's the final verdict, dripping with sarcasm and a little saddle leather. Is it illegal to wear cowboy boots in Blythe, California unless you own at least 2 cows? Technically, yes, the old rule is still lurking somewhere in the town code. Practically, you probably won't get arrested for a pair of stylish boots, but why risk becoming the next law-tuned star getting a ticket for unauthorized cowboy cosplay? Next time you're in Blythe and want to wear those fancy cowboy boots, either buy 2 cows first or just wear sneakers like the rest of us. If this boot-stomping, cattle-required story made you laugh, made you want to buy cowboy boots and maybe a couple cows, or made you appreciate how weird old laws can get, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to Law Tunes USA and hit the bell for daily weird law madness. Comment below, what's the silliest clothing or fashion law you've ever heard? I read every single comment. Until next time, stay curious, stay legal, and whatever you do, don't wear cowboy boots in Blythe unless you own at least 2 cows. See you in the next one.